Welcome to a gender-neutral reading of A Course in Miracles. Today we are looking at Chapter 30, The New Beginning, Part 2, Freedom of Will. Number 1. Do you not understand that to oppose the Holy Spirit is to fight yourself? They tell you but your will. They speak for you. In their divinity is but your own. And all the Holy Spirit knows is but your knowledge saved for you, that you may do your will through it. God asks you do your will. God joins with you. God did not set God's kingdom up alone. And heaven itself but represents your will, where everything created is for you. No spark of life but was created with your glad consent, as you would have it be, and not one thought that God has ever had but waited for your blessing to be born. God is no enemy to you. God asks no more than that God hear you call God friend. Number 2, freedom of will. How wonderful it is to do your will, for that is freedom. There is nothing else that ever should be called by freedom's name. Unless you do your will, you are not free. And would God leave God's children without what they have chosen for themselves? God but ensured that you would never lose your will when God gave you God's perfect answer. Hear it now, that you may be reminded of God's love and learn your will. God would not have God's children made prisoner to what they do not want. God joins with you in willing you be free. And to oppose God is to make a choice against yourself and choose that you be bound. Number 3, freedom of will. Look once again upon your enemy, the one you chose to hate instead of love. For thus was hatred born into the world, and thus the rule of fear established there. Now, hear God speak to you, through God, who is God's voice, and yours as well, reminding you that it is not your will to hate and to be a prisoner of fear, a slave to death, a little creature with a little life. Your will is boundless. It is not your will that it be bound. What lies in you has joined with God in all creation's birth. Remember God who has created you, and through your will created everything. Not one created thing, but gives you thanks, for it is by your will that it was born. No light of heaven shines except for you, for it was set in heaven by your will. Number 4, freedom of will. What cause have you for anger in a world that merely waits your blessing to be free? If you be prisoner, then God could not be free. For what is done to they who God so loves is done to God. Think not God wills to bind you. God has made you co-creator of the universe along with God. God would but keep your will forever and forever limitless. This world awaits the freedom you will give when you have recognized that you are free. But you will not forgive the world until you have forgiven they who gave your will to you. For it is by your will the world is given freedom. Nor can you be free apart from they whose holy will you share. Number 5, freedom of will. God turns to you to ask the world be saved, for by your own salvation is it healed. And no one walks upon the earth but must depend on your decision that they learn death has no power over them, because they share your freedom as they share your will. It is your will to heal them, and because you have decided with them, they are healed. And now is God forgiven, for you chose to look upon your fellow child of God as a friend.